We got multiple Padres updates to get to. This changes everything. The team is no longer waiting for when or if the superstars will return. There is a game plan for when Jackson Merrill and Jake Cronenworth will be rejoining the Padres, and I kind of think this will fix everything. Maybe not. I am pretty positive, though, that this is going to be a massive improvement in your day-to-day Padres fandom. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen, back with another episode of Padres Digest. This is the part of the show where I try in one breath to ask you to please hit the subscribe button, and I won't bug you again about it. Okay, let's talk some baseball. I showed you this here at the beginning, and I will show it to you one more time to prove that Jackson Merrill is healthy and moving. You might say, Christian, that's not a ton. It is a massive change, though, in the grand scheme of things. Let's show you proof, though, that finally moving and running. There have been some clips of him just hitting and not running. This is him also out playing center field. So the announcement has now come out that he will be, the aim is for Merrill to return to the Padres Monday at Yankee Stadium. We're recording this Thursday, May 4th. So if you are watching this when we first drop it, Thursday, May 1st, I apologize. I'm looking for May 4th, May 1st, looking for different date. We're recording this on Thursday the 1st. If you are watching this ASAP, we appreciate that. It's great. Just know that it is a couple of days out. If you're watching this closer, I hope you watch this with more excitement than ever before, because I think Monday marks the start of the real turnaround. And okay, great. Maybe it wasn't a huge skid that the Padres just went through the last 2 weeks. I think, though, when you have the kind of just at least the stretch that was Detroit and Tampa, if you really want to isolate those two seasons, I think you could say that that was a low point. Maybe not. Maybe you need to be halfway into the season to project out what's the low point, but I think that could have been the low point of the season with the amount of players that we had injured, with the true, the offense went from up here, we were smashing everybody, to not a normal course correction of everybody mediumed out. We did as bad as we could, even the guys that were left healthy on that roster. In the last couple of days, we've seen Luis Arraez and Jason Hayward come off. The team took an incremental step forward. And now you're going to say to me, Christian, 2 games, they can't average 7 games. You're being dramatic. Let's go clickbait headline. I don't think so, because I think, honestly, as enjoyable as it's been to watch Terso and to watch Connor Joe and to root for some of the Tyler Wade, great. It's cool to see some of those guys have some moments. None of those guys are Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill should have been the Rookie of the Year. Whatever, Paul Skeens, that's a whole nother video. But he was one of the best players in baseball. He's extended for $100+ million. He is a franchise center fielder. He is a guy that day in and day out, if he's healthy, he's going to give you all-star level play. If he's not quite healthy, he's still going to give you exceptional level play. So I will say that it seems, since we've gone past the 10-day IL, and that Merrill has really been slow-walked in this process. There was clips coming out, like I said, of him swinging, but not even leaving the batter's box. Now we've got him playing in the field. We've got him, he wasn't exploding out he was not sprinting that one out. So there could still be a little bit of lead-up time, and obviously between where we are now and Monday, there's a couple more days to get healthy, but even if you say it's going to take him 2 or 3 games to get back to being 85% of what he was before the injury, I'll take 85% of him being the jolt that this Padres squad needed. If you look at, I can show you the Jackson Merrill numbers, you're going to be like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that all day, every day. Almost 40 at bats. This is not a 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and a home. This isn't some weird little he had a great series to open this. He was on an absolute tear. So you're telling me that the Padres, who when completely healthy were the best start in baseball, got completely unhealthy, showed that our backups don't have it, but now we are getting the healthy guys back. To me, that's where the course changes, because the pitching has continued to develop, And you can go check out our other videos. This is why I say I hit subscribe, because we've got a ton of content coming for you. But the pitching, it is absolutely certifiable that between King and Pivetta, we got a couple dogs. And then that next two, like the only problem we have is the 5 spot. So the pitching has not gotten worse. The pitching has gotten better. So when you have the pitching going up, the hitting going down, the success is going to be here in the middle. But when the pitching's going up and then the hitting also starts to go up, the Padres' success is going to go up. And I think targeting a Jackson Merrill Monday return, this can be the point where we look back in the season and go, okay, they got through a really rough 8 to 15 game stretch that could have very easily, from 90% of the teams in baseball, pulled the plug. But then this guy showed back up, and the Jordan flu game meme ensues. Like, I think he's about to be the spark, because you kind of look at, again, I know that baseball isn't football or basketball where you can put one guy on the court and just be like, oh, he's electric and everything runs through him. But it is kind of one of those trickle-down things where you look at how the backup outfielders have been hitting offensively, and not having Jackson Merrill in there at center every single day has kind of caused this weird trickle down, where instead of just one, it's a net 2 change, because you need him here, then you need a different position guy over there in the left field because they're moving this platoon. Like, it just, we didn't have the depth. So when you slot him back in, then you can say, all right, well, with Tatis in right, Merrill in center, Padres just have to focus on finding sustainable play in left field. And I think between Terso and between Hayward and between when Lockridge comes back, like you said, he's also in the final. Between all of those guys, you can figure out a platoon left field situation, right? You can start breaking down the righty versus lefty, day game, road game, night game. Like, you can get the hyper specific that Shildt needs to manage and massage out. So to me, Merrill comes back, gives a net +2 positions getting better in the outfield. So rising tide lifts all boats. I think that is great. The other one that they announced is Jake Cronenworth, and Cronenworth, to me, is maybe a step down in terms of the overall viable impact. But we've talked about it over the last couple of permutations of videos where we've said, well, this injury is happening, now this happened. Like, the Padres have had to play this weird bit PC game where we're going to have Iglesias go there for one day, over here for another day. We're going to have this guy here. We're going to have Xander here. We're going to have Manny here. We're going to have Tyler Wade here. We're going to have, like, sometimes you do just want your dude. And I think as people are seeing with Xander, and they sometimes just want the guy to be rolling out there, even if he is hitting 246. But Cronenworth, to me, coming back with a more definitive timeline now, as we saw, it looks like he is slated to come back, according to this story in the San Diego Union Tribune, later next week against the Rockies. So call that Monday, Friday. Call that even, if you really want to go late into the week, call that Monday, Saturday. I think that by the end of next week, the Padres' whole vibe has been changed. The whole clubhouse energy has been changed. The whole on-field results have been changed, because these two dudes are back. And even if these two dudes aren't at 100%, I'll take 85% of both of these guys being a huge improvement over their backups. No insult or, deriding of the backups, but injecting these guys into the lineup, to me, feels like the absolute point where, hey, the Padres survived a rough down patch. Now we got our dudes back. We took our time getting them healthy. We didn't have to This was not, Merrill, we need you back there with KT tape all over your leg, a shot of Toradol, and just begging that the wheels don't blow off. They took their time. They got them healthy. And I think he's going to be absolutely, Merrill specifically, but Cronenworth to follow later in a Batman and Robin type situation in terms of who's going to be really contributing. I think Merrill's coming back ready to go. Let me know, though, what you think. Drop a comment below if you think they took too long, the Padres already missed their window, if you think this isn't going to be the change that's going to make any difference and there's something else that needs to happen, or if you, as always, just think that my headlines are stupid and my face is meant for radio. We appreciate it all. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hang in there, Padres fans. Keep the faith. 2025 starting to go a little bit better.